Storm Nation, and welcome to the Storm Report. I'm your host, Miss Theory, and I have
Eduardo Barantes.
today on this episode, we're going to be talking to Ally Witt, a part of our girls volleyball team. She's a part of varsity, and we have Miss Jacobs, Coach Jacobs, who is also the athletic trainer, but she's the the bowling coach, which is really cool. Eduardo, do you want to get started on what has happened these past 2 weeks?
Oh yeah, the boys football wins kickoff classic over Discovery, 46-0. Boys swim beats St. Cloud 103-78. Girls volleyball beats Poinciana 3-0. Cross country, great showing at Osceola Meet.
Nice, good results from these past 2 weeks. Now we have Ally Witt joining us. So you can come. Hello. Well, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, of course.
So we have some questions to ask you. Do you want to start off?
Oh, sure. How did you first get into volleyball?
So I started playing volleyball in 4th grade whenever I first moved to Alabama.
Okay.
So how long do you think that's been since?
Probably like 8 or 9 years ago.
9 years?
Yeah.
Nice. What made you fall in love with the sport?
So like definitely it just like over time it just kind of like grew on me, and moving so much as a kid, like I just like met so many different people and like so many different coaches, so it like gave me like a lot of opportunities.
So how much do you think you were like
So I played for different clubs, and yeah,
it's nice?
yeah, it's really nice. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite position to play?
Yeah, I'm a setter, and that's definitely like a leadership role on the court. Like, you have to communicate a lot with your team.
Yeah, I think we do. I know I've been a part of like girls flag football. There's a lot to do. What else do you do as like bonding stuff like that?
Yeah, I definitely could like arrange stuff like that. Starting to grow like really like good connections. So yeah.
Like, what do you do for team bonding?
For team bonding, we haven't done anything this season, but I definitely could arrange
Ideas.
I have a couple water parks in my neighborhood.
Oh,
I could definitely go on the lazy river.
Oh, that's fun. I love lazy rivers. Any questions?
What made you fall in love with the sport of volleyball? Did you enjoy it? Oh.
Definitely my mom.
Your mom?
She played volleyball in high school. Yeah.
High school only, middle school, elementary?
Yeah, growing up, but
did she practice with you a lot?
Yeah. We used to pepper all the time.
Do you go to any like volleyball games like bond?
Yeah, whenever I lived in Georgia my freshman year, we would go to every single UGA game.
Do you have like a favorite volleyball team? So UGA,
favorite volleyball team? Yeah, I was UGA fan of them. Texas volleyball's big too, of course. Yeah. Nebraska. Yeah.
For sure. What is your favorite memory playing volleyball?
Favorite memory? Going to those UGA games. Okay. I mean, in my freshman team at Mill Creek High School in Georgia, we would just go to every single game, and it was like so nice because I got to bond with them so much. Because just moving there, I didn't like make many friends, so volleyball really gave me the opportunity to make those connections.
Definitely. Yeah. When you went to UGA like games, did you have like a favorite player that you supported?
Favorite player? Off the top of my head, I do not know her name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. How do you keep your teammates motivated to like the rough times? Since you're like the leader, obviously you have to do that.
Yeah. Well, volleyball, it goes to 25. So like, if you mess up 1 point, you just gotta like have an open mind that like you have so many different like chances to get like the next point.
Yeah, definitely. How do you balance? I know you're an avid student, right? So how do you like balance schoolwork and volleyball? And I know you're also a flag football player, so there's a lot to balance. How do you do that?
Yeah, it takes like a lot of patience because you can get really like frustrated, but yeah, sometimes you have to make sacrifices, like maybe not do homework that one night and catch up on it in the morning.
Yeah, I know. You have to go ask teachers beforehand and say like, "Got any homework for me tonight?" Because you have to like make sure you're doing it.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. What classes do you take?
Classes? I do not take a lot of advanced classes, like mostly just like honors, but I'm taking IB environment right now. Yeah.
Do you plan to do anything with volleyball?
That was always the dream, but I think in college I just
Focus on academics? No, like, you don't have to do it as like
yeah.
what's it called? A D1 sport?
Yeah,
Like, you do it in a club?
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
Definitely.
Any other
Like,
clubs you do in college?
I'm not sure. I haven't really explored outside of sports. Sports has been like my whole life.
Like football?
Like,
Volleyball? Any other sports you do?
yeah. I actually do soccer and basketball as well. Not so much basketball.
What positions do you play in those games?
For soccer, I'm a keeper
Oh, nice.
and sometimes forward. And basketball, I do point guard. Yeah, but I don't play anymore.
Oh, you don't? Do you used to play soccer or just?
Yeah, I think it's soccer. Yeah.
What club?
Oh, I don't play for a
Real
club.
club? Okay, just like little recreational.
Yeah. Every once in a while.
What do you like about playing keeper?
Um, I don't have to run around. I can just like stay in place. Yeah.
And then you said you're. What do you think for I can't remember the word. The center. Okay. And what do you like most about that?
Setter, I get to touch every ball, every play. I mean, it's just so exciting.
Thanks for teaching us a little about that because I'm not so known to volleyball, so you taught me a good amount about that. What else do you like about the team? Like, what do they help you do?
They really help you like stay consistent. Like I haven't been like very consistent with my serves recently, but I just like practice it over and over and over again, and so I feel like I'm more consistent with that.
Your team helps you get through there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What do you think you guys need? Is there anything you guys need to improve on?
Improve. I honestly think we could do more serve receive. I mean, that's been so important. That's like the first touch in the game. Like literally, that's how it starts off. Like the serve and serve receive to get the ball up to make the next play.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I haven't watched many volleyball games, which is bad on me. But do you guys feel like you switch out time to time? Like everyone gets like a little round.
Definitely. Yeah. I'm not the only center. I also have Kaylee Gomez, the other center. Yeah. We switch out as soon as I go front row. She goes back.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us today. This is have you any other questions you have?
No, you covered it all.
I covered it all. Okay, thank you. Good luck today. I hope you guys have a great time.
Yes, we're gonna do great.
Go storm.
Go storm.
Thank you, Ally.
Of course. Oh, I leave now.
Bye. Okay. Next we have Miss Jacobs, our Coach Jacobs, our bowling coach. Coach Jacobs, you like to join us? Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you for joining us today. I know you just came from bowling practice. Actually. I did. Fun. Okay, so my first question is, how did you first get into bowling?
It's kind of a long story. So, when I was younger, back when dinosaurs roamed the earth, I used to do bowling. But then I came here and I kind of just hung out, and I had a friend named who's a coach here, and his other half that is no longer the other half, but they were together. They needed an extra person, so I said I would help. And then I stayed, and that person left, and I just kind of took over for the whole program. And right now it's just me. So if there are any adults who are listening to our podcast, come see me. So that we can kind of have that. But that's kind of the short of the long story. And so I've been doing it now. I think it's year 5 for me. I think. I don't know though. All the years start to meld together.
That's fun, especially with all you do around school. What is your favorite part about?
Okay, so like, I love that there's food, there's air conditioning, and music. But I do love the excitement, and the kids really do enjoy it. And it's nice to watch a child who bowls like maybe a 50 or a 75, and then by the mid-season of September, they're bowling a 175. So one of our players last year was, poor thing, tried everything, just tried and tried and tried. Switched to two-hand bowling. He went every day this summer. Every single day he has spent practicing. He has bowled every game that he can bowl, and he's now bowling like a 215 to 220 average. And yesterday, he bowled at 300, which is a perfect game, which is amazing. I've only seen it maybe once. And so his goal for this season is to try and get a perfect game in at least one or two of the matches, which will, if that's what he's going to keep doing, and watching him do that and watching him go from like miserable to like super excited and to helping other kids on the team to help guiding them to having one bowling ball to now having 8 bowling balls. Like, it's kind of a really awesome thing to watch. Last year, we took one of the juniors, Santi, who had been bowling. He has gotten so much better. He's, I think, bowling at a 210 or 215 average. And we took him to states last year, and it gave him that opportunity to like figure out what states is. And so I'm hoping that we get to take all of the boys this time because I'm watching our boys. There's at least 3 right now, 4 that are about 200. And if I can keep them at 200, we got a shot of going to states for the boys.
That's so exciting. Do you like when they come to bowling? Have they had any practice or any experience before they come, or do you?
So some of them come with experience, but they've had experience in the fact that like it was fun. I went to a birthday party. I went to a match, and we had fun, or we bowl at night, or whatever. And then as they get there, I can kind of go over there and I can, tweak a little bit. I can have them go over a couple boards. I can have them perfect their form. The only thing, and I'm honest, I tell them I'm not a two-handed bowler, so that's the only one I have a hard time fixing. But I say, we got you and I try to help them just move positions so that they can do that. So the most practice they get is usually during the season, and then I tell them if they want to go on like the weekends, they can go on the weekends. If they want to go every day, they can go every day. But for us, our schedule practice is Tuesday, Thursday, because Wednesdays are doing games. And then Fridays, I know that usually Friday is football, so I let them have that time so they can go to the football games.
Oh, that's nice. Can you kind of like describe like how the point system works for bowling? Because I know not a lot of people.
Sure. So there's 2 sets of bowling. So you can do the regular 10-pin match, which means that each individual student bowls 10 frames. Strikes obviously are worth 10, and I believe a spare is like, my math is really bad, so forgive me for that. But usually you want to clear the board. Perfect score is 300, right? Anything you want to do strikes and you want to do spares, which is wiping out all the rest of them. So like it's 9, 10, so you're getting there. In addition to that, you do those matches and it's the best of all 3. So like we try and make sure that you are at 250, 250, 250, then we average, like not average, but put all those together, and that's how we win. So we add up all 5 bowlers' point values to hopefully out bowl in a pin match the next set of bowlers. If we do a baker's match, which a baker's match is basically every bowler is responsible for just 2 frames. So your goal is to put your best bowler at frame 5 and 10 so that they're kind of rounding it out and then closing it out. And hopefully they're getting those 3 strikes in that last 10 frames. Then your second best bowler is 4 and 9, and then 3 and 8, and on. So that ultimately you have not such an amazing bowler, but a bowler who's pretty decent. You can have them bowl in the first and 5 frames, and then we can pick up the rest. So that's essentially what that is. And then again, you add all the games. So a baker's match is 5 games, so that you add all that and hopefully beat out the other 2. If you do the 10 frames, then you have to add all 3 of the 10 frames. Hopefully that is better than the team that they're going. So our first match is going to be Lake Wales. Lake Wales has been very tough every season. Their seniors are amazing. I've heard rumors that they're rebuilding, so we may have a shot this year to take them out. And for the first year, we have a full set of girls. We have not had a full set of girls for about 3 years, so this is amazing. They're going to have an opportunity to bowl. They're going to have an opportunity to hopefully put up some points. And even if they don't score amazingly well, it gives them an opportunity to learn. It gives them an opportunity to build, and it gives them an opportunity to get better.
Nice. That's exciting. So, any questions about it? You have any?
And I
Yeah.
rambled, I
I know.
apologize.
Sorry.
Had
Me too.
one question. What's one of the biggest challenges you face coaching bowling?
So really, it's the rides. Like it's getting the kids to the lanes. Like parents are really good, and I love them to death because they are taking their kids to and from. So like Santi's dad is there every game, every practice. He's so sweet. He sits there, he cheers us on. We all joke around and we talk. So like that part is really awesome. But it's hard to get them to the matches because I don't have transportation. So Lake Wales, they have to drive all the way to Lake Wales. That's an hour from here, right? The next game is George Jenkins. We have to drive to Lakeland. That's almost an hour and a half from here. So like, it's hard. And then we've got other things going on. So there are kids in band, there are kids in theater, there are kids in other activities in school. And so trying to work with them, trying to work with their other sponsors, trying to work with all those and the kids to kind of get everybody to do stuff. And I'm pretty good. I let them sort of miss some practices so that they can do their other activities as long as they come for a match. So like that is the biggest issue. Yeah. But at least it trades and I try to hope that everybody has an opportunity to do something because high school is about learning what you want, learning what you like, learning what you love. And if I can help facilitate that and still have bowlers, then I think I'm doing the right thing.
Okay. Yeah. Like, how do you do team bonding? Is like going to bowling your team bonding?
A lot of the going to bowling is the team bonding.
Okay.
So they make fun of each other before I even get them, right? But they do stretches together, which is a bonding thing. They laugh at each other, they cheer each other on, they talk to each other. And then of course we do just what every other sport does. We storm in, we storm out, and I will tell you that we are the loudest set, which makes me kind of smile, and like all the other teams are like, right? So like when we show up loud and we show up proud. And so we'll storm in, we'll storm out, and we try to be so loud that the rest of the teams are like, oh no. So even if we may not be the most amazing bowlers, we do make up for it in spirit. We make up for it in building, and they support each other, and that is a really awesome thing because again, they'll be there bonding over the music. They'll sing the songs. Some of them are dancing, and yes, it is about sports and it is about control and it is about focus. But let's have a little bit of fun while you focus because if it's all discipline and it's all kind of negative and it feels really hard, they give up. And we've got students who bowl, and some of them have other issues, and the team accepts them for who they are. And I think that is amazing. And I've seen that more now. So with all of our teams, that like whether it's bowling, baseball, softball, wrestling, whatever it is, people are becoming more and more accepting and supporting each other. And I think that is an awesome thing. So that's kind of that team building, and I kind of step away from them and I let them do a lot on their own. And then I'll come in if I see something is an issue. Then I'll come in and say, okay, well now we need to kumbaya, guys. Let's kumbaya. But they kumbaya without me.
That's how you do good. I feel like when you have a team that can build and support one another. Any other questions?
No.
I do have some more. I want to know. I want to know how do you guys like stretch for bowling? Like I know it's not a really stupid question, but I want to know.
So it's not. It's the same as It's the same as like flag actually.
Okay.
Right. So it's always the arm crossing and the arm crossing and the waving, and then the added thing is the wrist stretches. And they do have to do the bottom stretches. So the legs are up stretching, the quads, the all the stuff, because bowling is a full physical sport. So your body is moving. So like, yes, us who sit there and watch, we're cold because we're spectators and you're freezing because it is cold in there. You watch the bowlers and there is sweat dripping off their face. And you're like, am I missing something? Because they are using their entire body. And it's not just arms and legs and hands is also now brain and eyes, because their goal is to essentially hit a strike every time. And so the head pin, when you see the bowling, it's kind of like a triangle, right? The head pin, you want to kind of get in between the head pin and the first pin so that it takes out all. So for a lot of them, they are curving, they're kind of doing like, I call it flare, where their leg is coming behind them. And each one of them has their own specific, I'm going to call it flavor. So when they have their own flavor, they also have to stretch, because no one needs them to throw out a hip. No one needs them to cross the foul line and then slide down the lanes. So it's that kind of thing.
That's fun. I also was wondering, how many people do you have on each team?
So a full roster is 16 kids. 8 on the boys, 8 on the girls. 5 bowl at every time, so that it gives you 3 people to alternate and bowl in and bowl out. So when you're at a match, you take your top 5, and I usually do it based on their scores and their averages from the practice group, so that it's fair and it's evenly distributed. And then those 3 that aren't picked first, they go to practice, and their goal is to practice and bowl and prove to me that as these guys are going, they're better. Because if something happens and I need to phase out a kid because they're tired, they're missing their mark, they're getting gutter after gutter, which doesn't help us. Gutter after gutter, I'm going to go over to the practice lane, I'm going to look at the scores, I'm going to see who's got the best score, and I'm going to sub them in. And I can sub them in within the same match. Sorry, I hit that ball. You can sub them in for the same match, and then I can keep them for the next one, or I can sub somebody else out. And so last year, that child who I said was struggling spent a lot of the time on the practice lane. And there were times where I pulled, and I said, come do Bakers. You were really good in this frame and this frame. Let's go do Bakers. And it worked. This year, again, I told them, and I was very verbal, and I was very open and honest, where I said, guys, you need to be focused. So yes, have fun. Yes, joke around with each other. Yes, but at the end of the day, if you don't have the scores that you're looking for, then you're going to be on the practice floor working. So, I mean, it's fair.
Another question I have is there a certain time that you have to go, like, when it's your turn, do you have a specific time frame for when it's well, you have all the time to go?
So it's like yes and no.
Okay.
Right? So you do have a lot of time. But you also have to keep the momentum going, right? Because just like any sport, if you slow down, your body starts to cool down, and then you lose that momentum, and the ball doesn't go down the lane, or you're missing your mark now. So usually it's about, I would say at most, 90 seconds. Because they do an approach. They get their ball. Most of the time, it's like a pattern, right? They take their ball, they wipe it off with their rag, they kind of play with it in their hands, then they get to the approach, they set up for their approaches, they start their approach, and then they release their ball. And from cleaning to the bowling, it's probably about a full 90 seconds.
Okay.
And then when they do their second shot, again, it's that same process. So you're looking at 180 seconds for each bowl, right? Some of them may take a full-on, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, but we try to push them. And then when you're already in that momentum, when you're already super excited, like a Baker's match, you don't wait. And of course, there is something called lane courtesy. So that's why there's a lot of that second and waiting, because if the bowler on the left just bowls, you're supposed to wait for your turn on the right-hand side. Then when that bowler goes, then you can do your approach. And we play lead style, so you're alternating lanes. So you bowl on the right the first time, and then you go to the left on the second time, and vice versa.
Do your bowlers have their own bowling alley? I was wondering if you have a bowler like that bowling alley.
So in the very beginning, when they're doing practice and we do tryouts, a lot of them who are new will use the house ball, and they will use the house shoes. And of course, house balls and house shoes are not the same as your own materials. The ones who bowl all the time are the ones who've been there for freshman year, sophomore year, junior year. They've already bought their balls. and the ball gets drilled to their hand. And for some of them, like my two-handed bowlers, which right now are Haziel, Santi, and Asher, they don't have a thumb hole. And the bowl is drilled to their first knuckle because they have to hold it.
Okay.
And then they bowl it this way. For them, they've gotten their balls. They knew that house balls weren't going to be the same function because their house balls do not have a drilled, like the house ball is a drilled hole.
Okay.
And they're plastic. These balls will have a weight to them so that when they throw them, it's curving down. Once they start coming in, so the new ones, I'd say do the plastic balls, do the house stuff, and then I kind of say to them, our pro shop, they do a special thing for us at for the Celebration Storm, where they get a bag, a ball, and shoes, and that becomes theirs. And they drill it to them, and the shoes become them. And once they have their own shoes, right? Once they have their own ball, they are literally able to learn better and have more opportunity. We also tell them that the balls that they should use are normally heavier than what they're used to. So we're looking at 14, 16-pound balls for the boys. We're looking at 10, 12. Even one of our bowlers had a 15 or a 16 that she was a girl. So you're building that. So they're building that upper arm strength. They're building that, forearm strength. They're building all of that so that they're learning. So essentially, yes, we start out with house balls, and then we get them to have their own balls. So one of the girls today said she wants to bowl for the next 4 years. So she said, should I get my own ball? I said, yep, let's go to the pro shop. We went, they showed her the balls, the bag, the shoes. So she was going to talk to her mom, and then the next day they were going to come. I stay out of all of that. That's between them and the pro shop. And then it's really awesome to see them when they get their balls, and they're super excited because some of them are fun, like fun colors, funky colors. There was a girl on a different team for districts, I think 4 years ago, and she had a clear ball with a skull in the middle. And that thing rolling down the lane was pretty funky. It was really funky.
So, yeah. And another question I have is, when you have balls, does it matter like how heavy they are? Like, you got to check the pins that they
Yes.
hit? Okay.
So the pins at the end of the lane look really light. They're not.
Okay.
They probably weigh 3 to 4 pounds, maybe even 5, depending on what it is. I have some in my closet. I'll send them to you when you get when we go class. But they're heavy. So the heavier the ball, the more pins it's going to take down because it's taking that momentum. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, last year I did have to stop a set of teams, like a team, because the boys were using 6-pound balls. And technically, according to the rule book, they're not supposed to use them. And when I say use them, they were throwing them like softballs and baseballs down the lane. And I said, we can't do that. Like, you have to use your regular ball. Here's a 10, here's a 12. I don't care that you use a house ball, but you need to use the proper attire. And that, they were not happy with me. But one, it protects them from getting hurt. It protects the lane because that ball is now bouncing. And when it bounces, it hits the lane and makes a dent. And then when you're throwing it like that, you don't have control. So it could wind up in the lane next to you. It could wind up taking out the TV above the lane. Like, it could take out all those things. So when you see those videos where you're like, oh, right? Yeah, that's kind of what I was like, please don't do that.
Yeah.
We don't want to be that way. So the heavier the ball, the better. And I always start out lighter so that they can build. And then one of the things that we tell them, and I remember from the previous coach, is that you can take a can of like tomatoes or peas or something that you have and just keep rolling it back and forth against the wall to get your arm used to that motion. So the lighter, then we go heavier, and it's usually like they're at 10 or 12, usually about the girls. And the boys can be 10 or 12, but a lot of them are now 16s. And a lot of bowlers will have their strike ball and they'll have their spare ball. And the spare ball is always lighter than their actual initial ball. So if the initial ball is 14, then the spare ball might be 12. Because that's going to be The first one you want to curve, the second one you want to bowl straight.
And what kind of like I know this happens to me when I bowl. If I have like 2 pins on the side, like one pin here, one pin here,
Now, some of the kids have perfected it. So the goal is that you're supposed to aim for the one. So if it's a spare, right? I mean a split, sorry. You're gonna try to aim for the pin over here.
Okay.
So that when it goes, it spins out and hits the other pin. So that's kind of the whole point. Now, it doesn't always happen that way. You usually get one, or it just goes right down the middle and you get a field goal. And that's okay. And we kind of do field goal. But for the most part, like that's your point is to kind of get it on the outside of the pin so that it spins back and hits the other pin. I don't know if there's an actual terminology, but
that always happens to me, and I'm like, oh. That's just like wanting to like input on that part. Any more questions?
Actually, I do have one. So, like, what's like a celebration for like a strike or a spare?
now there are different cheers, but our team doesn't really do the cheers like other teams do. Partly because when we said it, we said that like we want to be celebratory to everyone, and some teams are not very celebratory in a positive way. So we kind of alternate that. So when somebody gets a strike, they yell out strike. If there's if the five, I think it's a 5 pin, they put their hand in the air, and when it's spare, yes, clapping and cheering. And then usually when it's like a turkey, right, which is the 3 strikes, and then usually then we get 4 and 5, then the cheers start to come, and I'm like, I don't even know what language it's in sometimes. But it's a lot of cheering and a lot of singing and a lot of clapping. So there isn't anything specific. We could do that. I just don't. It's up to them.
Does the entire bowling community, like all the schools, go crazy for it? Okay,
yes.
everyone's together.
If you go to a bowling match, so we're hosting districts this year. So when you come to districts, right, we usually do districts, and because since COVID, we've done it boys on one day, girls on the other. This year, we're trying to do it on one day because it just makes it easier for everyone. But every team comes and they support, and they're cheering. The parents come. They have posted up bleachers behind the stands. They're bringing their own chairs behind. So not only are the kids cheering, but the parents are cheering. So 3 or 4 years ago, we were at Boardwalk Lanes, which is in Orlando. And that is like I feel like it was an old Walmart or Kmart, and there's like 95 lanes. Okay, so like, and that houses a bunch of Orange County schools. That's their home lanes. When they go, like they're here they are on these 6 lanes, these are on 6, and there is cheering and screaming, and they're like, what? You don't know what's happening. And then when it's states, forget it. States is a whole nother ball game, and it's so intense and it's so crazy that you don't know what's happening. And then there's yelling and there's screaming and there's cheering and you have to be in a uniform. If you're not in the right uniform, you can't play. And what they do now is like if your cell phone is in the bowler circle, they assess you points. So they take away any points that you have. So it's like the first offense is 250 points. Then the second offense is like a fine. Because states is like very specific about what you can and cannot do. And your ball can't leave the bowling alley. So you have to leave your ball there. It has to get certified, and that's where it stays. Right? You can't take it out. Like it's crazy. What are they thinking when they do with the ball? People have manipulated it to make it heavier. They've drilled extra holes, or they've tried to not drill a hole, and they've like pasted things up. Like they have tried to alter those things. So, and let me tell you, there are scholarships for bowling. So there are people who are like dog eat dog. So 2 years ago, when I took Ben to states, this kid, we just sort of looked at him and we're like, oh dear. He was bowling a 280. That was like his average, which is just shy of a perfect game. Right? We're like, well, okay, we tried. And then we just started cheering for him because we're like, you got this. We're like, oh, okay. And so, like, some days those kids are amazing and they're on it, and some days you have a bad day. So like the goal is that the bad day is during game time and not at district.
Okay.
And then the other piece, and this is harder for me, is that the boys are on one side and the girls are on the other. So I am running back and forth between the lanes. And sometimes they don't put the girls and boys next to each other. Like, my girls will be at lanes 1 and 2, and the boys will be at lanes 9. So I'm running across the bowling, which is awful. Which is why, again, adults, anyone want to help?
Please. And I don't know if you said this. So you compete as a team, but in states you compete individually or as a team?
Okay, so this is how it works, right? At districts, the top 2 teams advance, and the top 2 team individuals. So if your team doesn't make it, you have the opportunity to make it as a single team. So that's what happened last year. Like we came right in the middle of the pack, and I was very happy with middle of the pack. The kids were a little sad, but then they were super excited because Santi was going to states. And one of our best bowlers, Ben, was excited. Like he was sad that he didn't make it, but he was super excited that Santi made it. And he came and he supported. And one of our bowlers who graduated and came back, he came back to support. And like he was so excited to see someone that he had bowled with that graduated from back. Like that's kind of what it's at. Like so even if they don't make it as a team, they can make it individual. But I'm gonna say it. I think our boys have an opportunity to qualify as a team. And 3 of them have the opportunity to qualify as an individual. So if they keep up the momentum that they're doing, and they keep doing the practice that they're doing, we've got a shot. They have a shot. And for me, that's what I do it for. To see them succeed, to see them move ahead, to see them advance. Because it's not really about me, it's about the kids.
No, not really.
Like that.
You're gonna have to wish them luck from us this year. That's huge. That's really awesome.
Well, and again, you're all invited to any match. The first 2 are away, and then we're kind of at home. Our home lanes is at AMF Kissimmee. It's right past Medieval Times. It's in between the Single Creek and Dyer Avenue. So it's right in the back. It's kind of off the beaten track. There's a sign that says AMF. It's in red. You come down. It is a free sport except for districts. So we don't take any gate. We're more than welcome to come in and see them and cheer them on. And we share that lanes with Horizon, which is an Orange County school. And we're going to do some fun practice matches so that like we kind of have a good time to do it. So yeah, come on down. Come cheer them on anytime. I will wish them luck for you guys. But definitely come and see them if you have an opportunity.
Definitely will. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We learned a lot, I feel like. It was awesome.
Sorry, I have a tendency to like.
No, perfect.
Blab.
Perfect.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye, guys.
Have a great day.
You too.
I forgot to change it to Miss Jacobs. That was Miss Jacobs, or Coach Jacobs, as I would say. So that is all we have for today. But I'm gonna go over some of the next sporting events we have. So we have football at Winter Springs, 7 p.m. Tomorrow, that's Friday. Volleyball home versus Harmony is September 2nd at 7 p.m. A swim, if you want to go support our swim team, that's next that I have to interview. That will be home versus Boone, September 3rd at 7 p.m. as well. Then we have JV football, that is home versus St. Cloud, September 3rd again. And then we have our it's 3rd at 6 p.m. Yeah. Then we have bowling as the if you want to look back. I can't remember the exact dates. The first 2 are away, and then we have some at home. So that would be awesome if you can come support. I have it down right here. Some of the games that are coming so we can see some of those. But we really appreciate you coming and watching this. This was, I think, very interesting and we learned a lot. You learned a lot?
Learned a lot about bowling, yes.
A good first podcast?
Good first podcast, yes.
Okay. Hopefully we see some more interesting things in the future. Thank you so much for coming and watching the Storm Report. I hope everyone has a great week and we'll see you the next time.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.